This was meant to be hidden. Song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai's secret meeting exposed. It was never supposed to be seen. No teaser photos. No fan-taken clips. No carefully timed leaks. Just one quiet moment that slipped through the cracks. And once it did, there was no turning back. Within hours, the names Song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai were everywhere. Trending, exploding, tearing through fan spaces and gossip forums, all driven by the same burning question. Why was this hidden? The first whispers were small. A blurry mention on a private forum. A short post that vanished within minutes. Someone claimed they saw Song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai at the same place, at the same time, away from cameras, away from crowds, far from the public eye. At first, it sounded ridiculous. Coincidences happen all the time in the industry. Celebrities share schedules, brands, and cities. Nothing new. But then the details began to surface. Not just the location, but the timing. Not just that they were there, but how they arrived. Separately. Yet, too coordinated. Minutes apart. Different entrances. Same destination. That was when fans stopped scrolling and started paying attention. Because this wasn't random. According to multiple accounts, the meeting happened late. Not late enough to raise alarms, but late enough to avoid attention. A private space. Not a public restaurant. Not a brand event. Not anywhere fans would casually pass by. This was intentional. Every movement calculated. Every step quiet. And that was exactly what made it shocking. Song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai have always been careful. On screen, their chemistry was undeniable. Off-screen, they maintained distance. Interviews were polite. Interactions controlled. Smiles measured. Fans noticed the tension, but they also noticed the restraint. The kind of restraint that suggested strict rules were being followed. So why risk this? As more information surfaced, fans began connecting that had been ignored for months. Times when both were in the same city without overlapping schedules. Moments when they posted on social media within similar time frames, yet never together. Small details that meant nothing on their own, but together painted a different picture. A pattern. The secret meeting itself wasn't loud. No dramatic gestures. No obvious public affection. But witnesses described something far more telling. Comfort. Ease. Familiarity. The way they spoke softly. The absence of awkwardness. The lack of distance between them. This wasn't a first meeting. This wasn't two colleagues catching up. This was two people who already knew each other very well. Fans soon realized something else. The meeting didn't fit any professional explanation. No joint project announced. No upcoming collaboration hinted. No brand connection requiring privacy. The more fans searched, the clearer it became. This meeting had no business reason. And that was when the internet truly exploded. Screenshots of deleted posts began circulating. Timelines were reconstructed minute by minute. Fans compared flight schedules, car sightings, even weather reports. What shocked people most wasn't the possibility of a relationship. It was the effort taken to keep it hidden. This wasn't casual secrecy. This was protection. Song Weilong has long been under intense scrutiny. Even rumored relationships have historically triggered extreme reactions. Zhao Jinmai, despite her young age, carries her own massive spotlight and fiercely protective fanbase. A public relationship between them wouldn't just spark discussion, it would ignite chaos. Fans understood that, and that understanding brought mixed emotions. Some felt betrayed, believing they'd been kept in the dark. Others felt impressed by how carefully the two protected something clearly important to them. Many were simply stunned. Why now? Why let it slip? One dominant theory emerged. This was never meant to be exposed. Someone saw something they weren't supposed to see. Someone talked. Someone shared. And once the first crack appeared, the wall collapsed. Another theory felt even heavier, that Song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai may have reached a point where hiding completely is no longer possible. That the effort to remain invisible is starting to outweigh the desire to stay unseen. Fans revisited past interviews with new eyes. Moments where Song Weilong spoke about wanting stability, about valuing trust, about how fame complicates personal connections. At the time, those words felt abstract. Now they felt specific. Zhao Jinmai's past comments resurfaced as well. Her insistence on keeping her private life private. Her calm, measured responses when asked about relationships. Her maturity beyond her years. Suddenly, it all made sense. According to those who claimed to witness the meeting, it was quiet. No dramatic entrances. No bodyguards making scenes. Just two people blending into the background, doing everything possible not to be noticed. But they were noticed. And once fans saw how hard they tried to stay unseen, the realization hit harder than any public confession ever could. If there was nothing there, why hide this much? As hours passed, official silence continued. No statements. No denials. No clarifications. For fans, that silence felt heavy. In the industry, silence is rarely accidental. It's often strategic. Media outlets began using careful language, alleged, reportedly, unconfirmed. But the tone had shifted. This was no longer being dismissed outright. Some fans defended them fiercely, saying that even if they were meeting privately, it was their right, that no one should be forced to live entirely in public. Others struggled with disappointment, not out of jealousy, but because secrecy can feel like distance. Still, the dominant reaction was shock mixed with reluctant acceptance, because the evidence didn't feel fake. Nothing about this felt like a publicity stunt. There were no benefits, no promotions, no announcements attached. If anything, exposure only brought risk. And that's what made it believable. As discussions continued, one idea became clear. This wasn't a sudden romance. If anything is happening between Song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai, it has likely been building quietly, carefully over time. Slow enough to stay hidden. Strong enough to matter. Fans also noticed something subtle, but important. Neither Song Weilong nor Zhao Jinmai changed their public behavior after the exposure. No forced smiles. No sudden distance. No overcorrection. They remained exactly the same. Overreaction would suggest fear. Calm suggested preparation. As if they had already accepted that one day, something like this might surface. And now it has. At this point, there is still no official confirmation. Everything remains speculation, observation, and interpretation. But sometimes, truth doesn't arrive through announcements. Sometimes, it arrives quietly, through moments that were never meant to be shared. This secret meeting changed the narrative. Not because it confirmed anything officially, but because it revealed intention, effort, and care, and perhaps emotion that goes deeper than professional ties. For fans, the shock is real. For the internet, the discussion is endless. But for Song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai, this moment may simply be one step closer to a reality they have been protecting all along. Disclaimer: this article is based on online discussions, fan speculation, and unconfirmed reports. There has been no official confirmation from Song Weilong, Zhao Jinmai, or their representatives. This content is created for entertainment and discussion purposes only.